That's not what happened.
I think.
I mean, it's obviously a comic book. I mean, none of it is what happened because it's a comic, but it's just the fact of if you're gonna do something, it should follow a similar guideline to the original, because that's the whole point of doing it. And I mean, you can change storylines and stuff. You can do
just stay on that baseline
things.
Though.
Yeah, like
you can
writer liberties and stuff. Yeah,
right.
But don't age someone multiple years. Don't make someone worse than they are as a kid. Don't do all these other crazy things. Like, there were a couple spots even in Smallville that were like that, and it's like, I mean, yeah,
it's almost like the reimagining
each
of
other, but they changed,
Wizard of Oz. Like Tin Man, and they took a lot of liberties with that stuff.
Tin Man,
yeah. Tin Man was great though. Like, its own.
It was a good standalone. Like, I always look at that stuff as, that's great as itself, but if you want to tag it to this, there's things that could have been different, could have been better, should have explained that, but as itself, it worked. I liked it.
I don't know. I think the two best characters in Gotham would have to be Ed Nygma playing, the Riddler. He did a really good job at it, and as well as Harvey Bullock, which was in the original Detective Comics, and he never really went much further. He was, Gordon's, cop buddy. Which they hated each other at first, but the guy that plays him was in Grounded for Life. He was in Blade. I liked that guy as an actor, and that's why I got turned on to his character. I'm like, I've never heard of Harvey Bullock before. Yeah, we've heard of Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
But, so those two characters really made that show for me. And the guy that played Penguin, he was in what was that? Accepted. He was the really hyper kid that couldn't calm down.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He plays Penguin. And he does a really good job.
I like Accepted.
Accepted's a great movie.
So your mascot's a sandwich. Yeah. So you're the shit sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah. And your color is brown.
South Harmon Institute of Technology.
Would you like to touch my wiener?
Shit sandwiches. Dude, why are you doing that?
I need hobo stab insurance.
If you don't mind taking a step back, I'm going to lock the door and finish eating my wad.
These wads are amazing.
It's the best wad I've ever had. It's the only wad I've ever had.
So, when did Superman and Lois get married? Because that was a while back.
When? Continuously.
Like they kept bringing it back up.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those storylines. It's just it's classic. You got the wedding, then you got the honeymoon, then you got the death, then you got the resurrection, then you got there's so many. Like I can't remember. I'm not gonna say it. I had a brain fart. I'm not gonna say it because it might be. Anyways, so.
Well, so the wedding happened a couple times. Once in 1949, apparently, which everybody forgot about.
Well, yeah, because then they did it again in a few others, but then 96. I think there was another one in between there, at least.
So, do they just keep renewing their vows?
Wedding and Beyond paperback was in 98.
Okay. Looks like there was one in 1955 as well.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with different story arcs, different Earths, if you will. Just because how some of that stuff changes and stuff. The, different Earths, different universes or whatever. Here's a great one. July 1955.
Those covers are pretty cool.
Here, let me slap some of it towards you. This is just a straight up. How many times has Superman been married?
So he's not always married to Lois? Interesting.
Something people don't really realize is Superman being on Earth under the yellow sun and all that jazz extends his life quite a bit.
So when Lois passes away,
he won't die. He doesn't even need to eat.
Okay.
He eats out of convenience of being Clark Kent,
to make it
human, to make him seem human. But he doesn't need. He just needs yellow. It's a fucking plant. He just
quick wild card question before you dive into this. Can Lois and Superman have kids?
Man, I have so many theories. They can. There are a few safe scenarios, like in a Superman 2, the movie, he could go under that red sunlight radiation, go human, essentially,
right,
and then knock boots.
Okay.
There's the theory where, like, just to have sex would be like a kryptonite condom. Some people have a theory that it would go off like a shotgun anyways, and
don't know about that one.
There's also, where is it? Right here. I looked this up a minute ago. Just a second. Which one was it? There's a kryptonite that makes him human. Essentially,
it's not green.
It is.
Wow, I didn't know there was so many other kryptonites.
Dude, there's a lot. There's red, there's green, there's gold, there's blue, there's white, there's jewel. Yeah, they do a bunch of different things. There's one that like instant kills. There's one that creates Bizarros or creates a Bizarro ray to defeat the Bizarros. There's the red kryptonite, and they did that in Superman 2. I believe it was 2. Where he became an evil asshole and started flicking peanuts into mirrors.
What?
It's a pretty good scene. It doesn't make sense unless you paid attention to the quick part where he came in contact with red kryptonite.
Okay.
The gold kryptonite permanently robs a Kryptonian of their superpowers. So there's a whole bunch of different scenarios and stuff. But there was... Like in Smallville, there was a blue kryptonite bracelet that, like they used to make him
drunk?
human. Huh?
Wasn't he able to get drunk at one point because he had a...
That was the red.
Okay.
It basically brings out all the, whatever you want to call it. It lets loose his inhibitions. His ego takes over, essentially. Okay. His id takes a back seat. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of different scenarios that could happen.
Okay. Well, we should get back to the weddings.
Yeah.
How many times did Superman get married?
Okay, I'm not going to give you a complete number. I'm just going to say he married Nikki LaRue in 1950.
While an extremely sassy Lois watched.
She loved it. In 1955, Superman married Lois.
He's a whore.
In 57, Jimmy married Lois while Superman acts as a flower girl.
What the? Interesting.
58, Superman married Joyce White while Lois watched. Joyce White was actually a robot who gets killed.
So it was Austin Powers. Because he married the girl and then she turned out to be a robot.
Pew, 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 pew.
Booby guns.
62, Superman married Luma Lina, who looks exactly like his cousin Supergirl. Strike up the banjos.
We got kissing cousins.
In 66, Lois married Superman. So, little vice versa of the Superman marrying Lois.
But Lois Lane had her own comic.
Yes, that was in Lois Lane number 68 back in 1966. And Superman, maybe I should have been saying the name of the comic as I was going, just so everybody could collect all the weddings.
Yeah.
And Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, 98, in 1966. Jimmy married female King Kong with Superman's blessing.
Weird.
That seems like Donkey and Dragon from Shrek scenario. Clark Kent married Lois, and they have a bratty kid in 1967 in Superman 192. In Lois Lane number 79 in 1967, Lois married Titan Man while Superman punked on her.
So in the same year, 1967, Clark Kent marries Lois in his comic books. They have a bratty kid. And then in Lois Lane's comic, she marries Titan Man.
10 months later.
Weird.
Hussies.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like right there, just so you know.
Wow. She really went for the biker.
He looks like a...
leave the biker. Leave the biker.
Break his heart. He looks like the guy who flips the switch at an electric chair, or the guy who drops the axe or the guillotine or any of that, you know?
I like how the cover says Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, yet she's marrying Titan Man.
Yeah.
Cool.
I could go on.
Holy crap!
There's so many. Let me give you a quick gist, okay? Their love affair over the years has been more like an amalgamation of a convoluted soap opera and an episode of Sister Wives. Why are we so interested in a long-haired dude named Cody who has 4 wives and 18 kids? Either Lois or Clark has an addiction issue with Bride Magazine, The Honeymoon Trip, Good Wedding Cake, or That Perfect Wedding Dress. Say yes to the dress, Lois. It's insanity.
Which I'm really glad that they didn't marry Bruce and Selena, until now.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Superman and fucking Lois.
Well,
they couldn't keep that storyline straight.
Let me give you the tally. You want the total tally?
Want the tally?
I'm just going to jump to it. Superman has been married 18 times and stole someone else's wife twice.
What a dick.
Lois has been married 20 times. Like, are you going to stop him? You going to stand in his way?
Nope.
I don't think so. Lois has been married 20 times, although the 2 marriages to the Prince of Darkness seem like they should be on a different plane of existence. So, let's call it a tie at 18 marriages each.
Wait a minute. Prince of Darkness.
Yeah, I think we skipped those ones. But real quick, we'll go back to those if that is super intriguing.
Yeah.
Jimmy has been married 1 time to a human and once to a female ape.
Hey, who's Jimmy?
Which that's Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. He's
okay.
Photographer.
Yep,
and
I remember now.
All that jazz. Yeah, it's I'm trying.
If it's what I'm thinking
trying
for
to
the
find
Prince
a
of
spot.
Darkness is she marries the Joker?
No,
It's a different Prince of Darkness.
if you could imagine the Prince of Darkness, you know him.
No.
All right, go to the next wild card. I'll come back to it. I want to get it right for.
Okay. I wanted to talk
everyone.
about the DC original animations that they're coming out with nowadays, which has that really feeling of classic The Adventures of Batman comics, but these are for more adultish. There's a lot of blood. There's some swearing. What is it? The Son of Batman. The beginning starts out with Joker pretty much kicking the crap out of Robin. Blood everywhere. And I'm like, wow. This is pretty intense. And they keep making more and more of the DC originals. I mean, the Into the Spider-Verse is the first Marvel animated full-length movie type that has come out from Marvel, but DC's been doing it for a little while. They got Son of Batman, they got Dark Justice League, they got Justice League, and then they had I forgot what the other Batman was. There's four of them.
The Batman and Robin.
Or there might be a
Superman Batman.
No. Actually, yeah, Superman Batman I think was one of the original DC comic animations. But they're all full-length movies with really top stars doing the voices of them. Like Jason Todd is played by a guy from Supernatural.